My name is Lester Leavitt, and welcome to the Driftless Rivers Coalition podcast channel.
In this video, I want to introduce you to what, for lack of a better word, I would call my stump speech. It's a presentation entitled Deep Roots, Rising Tide. And what I want to do with this short video is just explain why I'm so passionate about the Driftless area. The Driftless area is famous for having the deep roots here. We date back as far as white people go, all the way back to the 1600s, up in Prairie du Chien. The early French explorers met with fur traders there. They created a fur trading port, and then after that, that was in the 1600s. So by the start of the 19th century, in the 1820s, Galena was discovered. But this whole area is is embedded in that history. We can't avoid that history. By the 1850s, my ancestors arrived in the Nauvoo area. They only stayed long enough to get one harvest off before they were chased out, and off they went to Salt Lake City and founded Utah. My ancestors later went, and they were the last big wagon train of the West when they left Utah and went to settle in Alberta, Canada. So I was born and raised just above the US border in Canada, but I've got dual citizenship because of these deep roots here in this area. I am a farm boy. I understand the connection that we have to being outdoors, to being away from the crowds. This love of being outside is just as deep in the fiber of my body as anything else. And that's why I love living here. And this passion for living here is why I have entitled this Deep Roots. But the other problem which we have here in the Midwest is it has become an area where we cannot keep our young professionals. Um, the problems of getting good help, any help here in Galena, is legendary. Anybody who wants a job can get a job here. They're not great jobs, which is the problem, because the young people don't come back unless it's a great job. They go away to university, they get a better education, they meet somebody who is from another area, and the opportunities in other areas always seem to be a little better than they are back here. So how do we create this rising tide? The idea that the Midwest is a place where you are from rather than a place where you choose to live needs to be, we have to change that narrative. And that's what my PhD was about, is creating narratives, new narratives. But you don't have a new narrative unless you have a big idea. So we have areas to revitalize the Midwest. The idea of conservation and preservation and revitalization are important to this narrative because, number one, we have a history that we need to preserve. We have a natural area that we need to conserve. And we have towns that are full of vacant old buildings. We have historical sites that we are losing to time. They're deteriorating and they're not going to save themselves. We've got to figure out a way to save them. But we've also got this complicated geography that encompasses 4 different states. We've got Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. In those 4 states, we've got 35 counties that are encompassed in this driftless area and over 140 significant towns. And every one of these towns has a different narrative about what would be the best thing for the town. Every one of these 35 counties have a different narrative about what would be best for our county. And sometimes the 40-year plan for the county is at directly odds with the 40-year plan for our towns. I know here in Galena, the town has very different needs, very different dreams than Joe Davies County, because we are a tourist destination. The town itself is the tourist destination, the county not so much. So what the towns want is different than what the counties want, and which is different than what the states want, which is different than what is really good for the region. So how do we create that one narrative that says, in the driftless area, our deep roots keep us here, but in the future, to make it viable to live here and continue to have what we enjoy without losing it, we have got to find that rising tide.